Hey, welcome back to the Cactus Orphanage out here in the middle of the desert, Parker, Arizona. Today we're going to do a little demonstration of how you mix soil for replanting or original planting of new cactus or cuttings. Now, the thing about soil and cactus is most people recommend a 2-to-1 mix. 2 parts of soil to 1 part of sand. And the reason for that is that cactus needs a lot of drainage. You don't want it to rot and get too moist. So the sand helps the water drain really quick. Now the problem out here in the desert where I am is it gets so hot in July and August that you don't want a lot of drainage. You want to hold the moisture in with the plants. So we've got to be very careful because I mix my soil with a little less sand, so we don't want to water it too much in the wintertime, but it sure helps in the summer holding that moisture in on these plants. Now, I'm not advertising any products here, but this is the soil that I use. It's Omni. It's fairly inexpensive. It's good quality. The best thing that I like about it is the local Ace Hardware store here in town carries it, so I can get it anytime I want. But any good soil would be fine. Omni is a good product. Then the other thing you need is you need a bag of sand. Now this is Quick Right sand. Again, I'm not advertising for them, but this is probably the most predominant sand you're going to find out there. They use it for all kinds of stuff. It's clean, and they mix it in with concrete, that kind of thing, so it's easily found. Now, here's how you do it. You need a container. I'll use this one, and you'll need some type of measuring device, and I always rely on a good old pot. And all you do, if you're going to mix a ratio of 1 to 2, 1 soil to 2 sand, all you have to do is take 2 scoops of the soil, put it in your container, and then you fill the container with sand. So that's your 1 part sand. And you can tell I'm not being real exact on the amount as long as you get it close. And then when you have it in your container, all you need to do is get down in there and mix it up so you have the sand distributed throughout the soil. And voila, you've got some great mixing soil there for cactus and aloe vera. So what I'd like to show you now is the difference in pots. Now when you're getting ready to plant a cacti or an aloe vera or any other what we like to call drought resistant plants, you want to choose the pot according pretty much to the size of the plant. So if you have a plant this size and you're going to replant it, you're not going to want to put it in a pot like that. You want to go bigger. Now, there's 3 pretty typical size pots, and this would be probably the first choice. But let me tell you something about cactus and aloe vera and other desert plants. The bigger the area you have for them to grow, the more they're going to propagate, get bigger. With aloe vera, they're going to grow pups, and you're going to have new plants. So I would always err on the side of bigger. If you have a larger plant, then you're only going to go with a bigger pot. It's just that simple. So depending on the size of the pot, the size of the plant, you decide what size pot you want. And what I would recommend for everybody, other than maybe particular instances like here, go with a 1 part sand and 2 part soil mixture, and that will give you some good drainage. Now we're going to be right back in a second, and I'm going to show you some pots and how it all how you look at a plant and decide what size pot to use. We'll be right back. Here we are back. I wanted to show you a couple of examples of pots. Now, that's a nice little aloe vera plant, but it's obviously just about big enough. It doesn't want to get too much bigger in that pot. So, if you wanted to go increments, you could put it into that one. Or you could go larger into a pot like this. You'll see this was obviously planted a while back, and it has several plants. Here's your main plant, but it's got several off. It can't do that very well unless it's in a big enough pot. And then if you're going to replant, say, take this one out of there and replant it, then you probably want to go into a larger pot with more area there. Now I wanted to show you this one last, and obviously this one we're going to be repotting here any minute now. And it'll probably go into this pot. But this plant was out in the back 40, and it kind of got neglected, and we had some big winds out here in the desert the last few days, and this got blown over, and so it brought it to my attention. Look at how big that plant is in this little pot. And you can also see there's not many babies in there. I don't see, yeah, there's one over here on the side, only one. From a big plant like that. That's because of the size of the pot to a large degree. So we're going to take this and we're going to replant it into a larger pot like that. And then by this time next year, it'll have an abundance of little babies around that we can propagate and move into other pots. So first thing you want to remember, you want drainage in your soil. And you want a pot big enough. It's much better to go too big with a pot or bigger with a pot than put a plant in too small of a pot. So determine the pot that you want to use by the size of the plant. So until next time, this is the old cactus farmer at the Cactus Orphanage, and we encourage you to go to our website if you like this video at www.cactusorphanage.com. Check out our videos there and our different plants that we have for adoption. And if you like this, like the site on Facebook, wherever you see it at. And on our website, if you subscribe, every time we put out a video, you get a little bump, and you can go look at it if you want. So until next time, go out there and keep growing.